What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sector for Nerds. Today I'm here to give you guys my review of Universal Studios Orlando, including the brand new Epic Universe Park. I took a lot of photos and took some videos down there, so it's going to kind of be like a half review, half vlog sort of video. But before we begin, you guys, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel, and be sure to click that hype button. So normally I don't make too many videos like this, you guys, because it's not every day that I get to travel to theme parks and whatnot. So it's been about a week now at the time of this recording that I went to Universal Orlando. And it was great because I got to experience it with family and none of us had ever been before. And one of the things that we really wanted to do was to check out that new Epic Universe Park. So this video is going to do like a couple different things, right? Like we're going to talk about my thoughts being there. I'm going to kind of compare it to my thoughts on places like Disney World and Disneyland. I went to Disney World, you guys, gosh, maybe like a decade ago at this point. So it's been a while. And then over the years, I had been to Disneyland not once, but twice. And I think the last time I went to Disneyland would have been like, I want to say at least 6 or 7 years now, like around the time of Galaxy's Edge. And maybe I'll give you guys some advice too on some things that maybe I would recommend doing or maybe not doing while you're there. And you guys can kind of take it or leave it as you will, right? Like again, like I don't go to theme parks every day, right? I know there's like obviously for people who live down in Florida and stuff, I'm sure there's people that probably go to the parks all the time, or, you know, maybe there's a bunch of like Disney or Universal fans that take trips every single year down to these parks because they have the ability to do so. I ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't, again, it's not often that I get to do this stuff. So, but what I can do is kind of give you guys like my experiences and my takes on the things that we did and whatnot to maybe help you if you guys ever decide to take a trip. So I want to start out with Epic Universe because that really is the main thing that I wanted to talk about with you guys here today. Legitimately, one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And specifically that Super Nintendo world, that Mario world. The minute that you walk in there, it just feels like you're in a Mario video game. It was incredible. The level of details, just like visually, that they put into that park, just massive thumbs up for me. I'm a huge Mario fan, you guys. Like, I grew up playing a lot of the Mario games. And I'm talking like all the way back to Super Mario Bros. The Super Mario Bros. From the Super Nintendo. I've played Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3. I've played so many different like Mario Kart games over the years. Big fan of Mario Kart. One of the games that me and my brother were able to get our hands on recently for our Wii was Super Mario Bros. Super Sluggers. It's like a baseball game with the Mario characters. We always have fun, you know, playing that one with our friends whenever we got people over. Mario Party, I've played a couple of those games as well. So like I'm a big fan of that world, and I was a fan of the movie as well that they did. So just being there, that was probably the thing that I was looking forward to the most, because if I'm being honest, you guys, like when it comes to the other parts of Universal, of Epicverse specifically, they had a Harry Potter world, and they actually had a Harry Potter world at like each of the parks that I went to. But to be honest, I don't know anything about Harry Potter. Like I'm not a Harry Potter fan. Did I appreciate the worlds that they had built there and the level of detail they put into it, some of the rides and stuff too? Yes, absolutely, thumbs up for all that. But I didn't have the same level of investment in it as I would have with the Mario world. How to Train Your Dragon, that was another world there as well. Like, again, an incredible world that they had built there. I've only ever seen the first How to Train Your Dragon movie, and then I think I've seen like bits and pieces of one of the animated series, but that's about it. And unfortunately, when we went to like one of the rides or two of the rides were like closed down when we were in that park. So I was like, oh, well, there goes that. But that Mario world, you guys. Oh my gosh. And they had like a little subsection in there for like a Donkey Kong world. That Donkey Kong roller coaster, I enjoyed that one. I'm not somebody that really likes roller coasters all too much. As long as it's something that doesn't go upside down or has like a lot of big drops and stuff, like I can enjoy it. If it has like a couple, you know, smaller drops here and there, if it goes fast, if it got some twists and turns, like I'm cool with that. But there were a couple roller coasters there at my theme park experience that I would not go on because I'm like, no, it gets gets to a point where it's like, okay, if I'm going to do this, like, I got to be able to have like some fun with it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not going to have fun with it, then I don't want to do it. Like, I don't do it for I know some people do it because it's like, oh, but they want that fear factor, right? Like that adrenaline rush. I think that for me works to an extent. And I thought like the Donkey Kong ride, like that was a good example of it. There was a Yoshi ride that we went on. It was very just like, it kind of like took you around the park or whatever. And I've got some footage there. So it was like, okay, it was good for me like taking video and stuff. It was like the one ride that I could get on that I could felt comfortable actually taking video of. Probably do like a small vlog here or something. We are entering the tunnel. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Hang on. Oh, look at that. That's cool. This is a fun little ride. Dude, I'm telling you that Disney's got to step up their game, man. Disney World, y'all got to step it up. I mean, you look at this Mario World. This is insane. I got it. Dude, look at this. It's like, look at the level of detail they put into this place. Look at this. I will admit though, you guys, I thought the Mario Kart ride was a little underwhelming. I think it's just because like, I think I had higher expectations going into it and I didn't realize that the majority of it was just going to be like a 3D sort of experience. And I think in a lot of the other rides that I went on, that was good. Like it was cool, but I don't know. I feel like I was expecting more like a racing sort of thing, right? Like maybe more like a roller coaster. I don't know. Nonetheless, though, the end of that ride where you're like going through that Rainbow Road part, like that was cool. I like that. That kind of picked up in speed a little bit. But other than that, the Mario Kart ride, it was kind of like, whatever. So something that massively helped us out, you guys, when we were at Epicverse is we had purchased fast passes. We stayed at the Stella Nova Hotel. I know I'm bouncing around all over the place, you guys, but just stick with me here. It's all giving me my thoughts on this trip, so it's gonna be a little bouncing around in here and there. Just bear with me. We stayed at Stella Nova. It was like, I think like a 10 minute walk from Epicverse, but then we'd always have to like take a bus to get to the other parks. And it was a little confusing at first because I thought it was going to be like Disney where it's like, okay, they have different buses that takes you to each of the different parks. But what they actually do is they take you to the City Walk because all of the other parks that are there, like you have the Island of Adventure, you have the main Universal Studios park, those are over by the City Walk area. So they'll take you there. Then you have to like go through security. Like every time you get to that place, it's like you have to go through security and then you go onto the City Walk. And then if you go like further back into that area is where you find the other parks. But I remember like the person that we spoke with, she said that if you wanted to do the entire Epicverse park in one day, that it was recommended that they do the fast pass. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, we definitely got to do that. And I wasn't really sure how their fast pass worked at the time. But when we found out more, it was like, okay, so like you get to go on like all of the rides. And it was like, oh, okay, like this is cool. But then what we had discovered is you only have the fast, when it comes to Epic, this is only for Epic, that you could only go through the fast pass line once per each ride. So once you use the fast pass for that ride, you can't use it anymore. It's different from the way that the fast passes work with the other parks where you can just keep using them and going on the rides every single time. Unlimited. My guess is, right, because it's a newer park, they want to try and milk out as much money as they can out of it. Like, I get it. But unfortunately, I wish somebody would have told us that part because we had to learn the hard way. We were going to go on the Donkey Kong ride a second time. They basically had then like kicked us off because it was like we couldn't do it because we had already been through it once. And like their security there, you guys, is like they got it everywhere. Like you go through all the lines and stuff and it's at least like 2 or 3 times in the lines. Like they have you stand in front of a like scanner thing or whatever. It like scans you to identify you to make sure that, it's you. Like it's top notch stuff. I ain't gonna lie. Like it is pretty cool. Probably to try and like prevent people from like skipping lines and stuff, Or like us, if we try to go on a ride a second time again without knowing the rules, then they can stop us. But I'm going to tell you what, you guys, those fast passes really do come in handy. When we first got into the park, right, like we went on the Mario Kart ride. That was the first thing we did. It took us maybe like 5-10 minutes before we got on the ride. We were on a Thursday morning. It was at the end of October, so maybe a less busy time of year. Though that being said, they were doing the Halloween stuff, the horror nights over at the main park. So you could have maybe expected some more people for that. But I think about like maybe an hour into our time at Epicverse is when we were going on the Donkey Kong ride, and the wait time said 35 minutes. And I counted because I'm like, okay, I want to see like how effective these fast passes are. So I counted a timer. It was like just under 8 minutes that we had to wait. 8 minutes versus 35. To add more, the Harry Potter ride that we went on, there was only one Harry Potter ride at Epicverse. Wait time was like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. We got in like 20. So they do work. So anybody that's like on the fence about fast passes, they really do work. Mind you, they can change the rules at any moment, right? Like this recording that's coming out right now is going to be at the end of November in 2025. You could be watching this like several years down the line and the rules will have changed. But if you're planning on going within like the end of this year or the end of next year and you're debating on fast passes, I do think they are worth it. Now, obviously, it's going to be a little bit more expensive too, right? It's the time versus money mentality. The time versus money mentality is actually something that I'm very familiar with because it's something I have to use in my job. Like I work in retail. And some of the products that I sell, right, you have a couple choices. You can either spend more money and save yourself time and get the project done that you're working on quicker, or you can spend less money but it'll take more time to get said project done. So many people nowadays too, it's like, oh, I want the best cheap option. I hate to break it to you guys, but there's no such thing. What do you want more? Do you want time or do you want money? It's up to you. I can't make that call. You have to make that call. But it was great though. Like thanks to that fast pass, we really did get to do like everything that we wanted to do within the day that we were there. And we had stayed at the parks, you guys, like, geez, I mean, let's see. Early access started at, I think, 9 a.m. for people that were staying on the grounds. And then we were there till I think like 5 o'clock or something like that. So we were there a good 8 hours. All right, I got to talk to you guys about another thing that I got really hooked on while I was there. Butterbeer. The thing from the Harry Potter world. I know nothing about it. But I remember like hearing like, I had a coworker of mine telling me like, oh, you got to get butterbeer. You got to get butterbeer. I was like, okay, I'm going to get the butterbeer. And I was hooked on it. It was like a butterscotch flavor drink. Probably had like a lot of cream soda in there too. Like it was very sugary. There's no alcohol in it. So you don't have to, like anybody can get it. It was very good. I legitimately, I had one each day because here's what happened, right? So the first night that we were there, we were just like exploring the city grounds and stuff, like the city walk. And we went into a store and one of the stores had butterbeer. So I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I might as well get this out of the way. I'm going to do this. And then I had it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is good. And then because each of the parks that we went to Epicverse, we went to Universal Studios, and we went to Universal Islands of Adventure. Each one of them had a different Harry Potter world, and each one had freaking butterbeer. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna get another butterbeer. And they were like $10 a piece. So I basically spent over $40 that weekend on butterbeer. Take that what you will. So yeah, you guys, I think I kind of, when it comes to Epicverse, I said a lot of my thoughts there, right? Like the Super Nintendo world, fantastic. Harry Potter world was good. How to Train Your Dragon world was good. Ooh, the Dark Universe. That was another one that was really good. I enjoyed that too. There were a couple roller coasters that we went on in that one. Those were fun. That's actually one thing I had to talk about real quick. One of the roller coasters in the Dark Universe, and I forget the name of it. Maybe I'll like have it like somewhere written down on screen so people know. Legitimately though, that ride had like the smoothest turns I had been on in a roller coaster. Because you guys know, like when you like take twists and turns on roller coasters, it's like you hit like these bumps and stuff, right? And you're like, oh, and you're like flipping back and forth, right? Between one side of the car to the other. But the turns were like so smooth. It was like, whoa. And we were going fast too. So it was like, why can't all roller coasters be like this? Universal Studios was fun though. We got, again, another Harry Potter world. That was fun. The Simpsons world. Obviously, like, I'm not like a huge Simpsons guy, but like I've seen episodes, you know what I'm saying? Like I've watched my fair share of Simpsons back in the day. So like getting to see that world It was very funny. Me and my cousin, we split one of those lard donuts or whatever, the big pink donut. And the reason why I liked it is because, like, I thought, oh no, it's going to be pink frosting or whatever. It's going to be strawberry. I don't like strawberry frosting, but no, it was just like vanilla flavored frosting, just dyed pink. And it was very good. DreamWorks Land, I really wish they had more. It was more just like a kids area. You could do like meet and greets there. We did some meet and greets with some of the characters, but it's like there were no rides. So it's like that was kind of unfortunate. But my cousins were really big into the character meet and greets. Like they like obsess over that stuff. And my brother was really into it too. So I was like, no, like if you guys want to do this, like, yeah, let's freaking do it. And I think with like some of the character stuff, it's like some of them are hits, some of them are misses. Like, you know, and a lot of times too, it's like you don't necessarily know like what you're going to say or what they're going to say. Like sometimes you try to come up with like bits for content and things like that. Like we kind of tried to do a bit with Shrek and Fiona. We had like this pretzel, this Shrek pretzel that we showed off to Shrek. Now, the problem was we fell into a massive trap with this because what we didn't realize was the pretzel was like massively overcooked. We didn't realize it until we started pulling it apart. And I was like, oh shoot, we're killing our own bit right now. So when I think my mom was taking video of us, right? Like as we were doing this, and in the video, you can see me like take a bite of the pretzel, and then I'm trying to like stuff the rest of it in my pocket without looking away from the characters, because like I'm trying to like stay tuned to what they're doing, and then I'm like, all right, I'm trying to put this pretzel away because this thing is nasty, and I'm still freaking chewing it in my mouth because it's so hard. And like Fiona knew too, because like the minute that my cousins took a bite of it, like she knew like how rough of a time we were gonna have with it.
There we go.
As I say, it looks a little overcooked for my liking. I'm gonna have to go talk to them again. I told them 7 minutes.
The one thing that we didn't get on tape was at the very end, after we had taken our picture, my cousin tried to get Shrek to do the stupid 6-7 thing. And he didn't go for it. But what was funny was, so we started walking away, and as we're like walking away, like Fiona goes over to Shrek, and she's like, I don't get this whole thing or whatever with your hands. Like, what are you doing? Are you juggling? Like she does the 6-7 thing, and she kind of like pokes fun at it. So I was like, okay, we got a little bit there. Like, that's good. We saw King Julian walking around. I was like, oh my. If you know anything about like me, my brother, like, okay, we love the Madagascar movies. We like obsess over like the penguins, over King Julian, over Mort. Apparently there's like a King Julian show out there. Like I remember I've seen the Madagascar movies. I saw the Penguins of Madagascar, both the movie and the series that was on Nickelodeon back in the day. But apparently there was like a King Julian show or whatever. I think it's on Netflix or something. Don't quote me on that. But some of those clips that we see, like we'll see bits from that show of like Mort being unhinged. And it's like, holy shit. I'm like, this is supposed to be a children's show? And Mort's just saying all this crazy stuff. I'm like, what is happening right now? So I was like, all right, if we're going to do these character bits, we're getting a picture with King Julian. So, okay, let me think. Some of the other rides that we went on while we were there at that Universal Park. So there was the E.T. ride. That one was fun. Like, it was very 80s, but like, I enjoyed it. The Mummy ride, absolutely amazing. I kid you not, I went on that coaster 3 times. That's how much me and my cousin both loved it. It was like just the right amount of thrill for me. It was like, it went right up to the edge of like what I would consider to be fun on a roller coaster. And I was like, you know what? I'm here for it. I thought the Fast and Furious ride was really lame, to be honest. It's like you're sitting on a bus and it's like a 3D ride. When you think of the Fast and Furious, now don't get me wrong, I haven't really seen any of the Fast and Furious movies. When I think of Fast and Furious, I don't think of like buses. And it's like you weren't even going that fast either, so I feel like that destroys the purpose of that. I can't remember. I think it was my uncle that poked fun at it. It's like they should call that ride Slow and Steady instead of Fast and Furious. They had like videos and stuff in there too of like the characters and whatnot being together. Of course, there was one together of like Rock and Vin Diesel's characters together. And I was like, okay, well, this was clearly shot years ago. I don't see that anything like that being filmed today anymore. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Fast and Furious fans. They still hate each other, right? To touch quickly on the Universal Islands of Adventures as well. That was another park, you guys, that we had a lot of fun with. Once again, there was a Harry Potter world there. All right, guys, so I'm at Universal Island of Adventure right now. Just kind of on my own here for a second. I got my group kind of splitting off, doing a couple different things, but just thought I'd do a quick little vlog here. This is my 4th butterbeer of the weekend. So yeah, I've kind of become like a little addicted to these things at this point. And these things are like freaking $10 a piece. So yeah, that'll be a story to tell, right? I spent over $40 on butterbeer this weekend. But being in like these Harry Potter worlds and stuff, like I don't know much about Harry Potter. Like I really haven't seen any of the movies and stuff, but I mean, this is crazy. Like just like how unreal everything looks. It just kind of sits here and like makes me think about, like, as a Star Wars fan, like just the missed opportunities that Disney has had to like do stuff like this on their own. You know, like you go to these different parks here at Universal and there's 3 completely different Harry Potter worlds just based on things from the movies. And it's like, man, like imagine if they would have done that, like, you know, have like a Tatooine, have a Hoth, have an Endor, have a Naboo, like, man, it just, like, coming from someone that is like a massive Star Wars fan and stuff, it's like I see what they're doing here at Universal, what they've done at Epic, and incredible stuff there, and it's like, man, I wish so bad that they would have done better with that, you know? And again, like a lot of these Harry Potter rides that I went on, like they were really fun. Like there was one ride, I'm trying to remember like which parks we went on which ride, but there's one where like you're sitting in a car and it's like a 3D ride. There's one where like your feet are hanging or whatever and you're like, you know, swinging around and stuff through like another 3D motion ride. Like that was fun. The Marvel area, that was cool. Someone's gonna have to like really explain to me like the lore of Universal on that one, because I was kind of surprised that they had a Marvel land considering who they're owned by. But again, like I'm not like a theme park expert or anything like that. Like I don't know all the lore and stuff. So maybe one of you guys that maybe does know a little bit more can help me out. We went around, there were a lot of characters walking around in the Marvel area. Some of them, if I'm being honest, you guys didn't really look like that great. The Spider-Man that was there looked like he was just in like a Halloween costume. The Wolverine, there was a Wolverine that we met because my cousin wanted to meet him, but like I didn't even think the Wolverine looked that good. I will say, the one character interaction that we had in the Marvel park that I was a really big fan of is when we got to meet Storm and Rogue from the X-Men universe. And over the past year, you guys, like I had watched through the, you know, the original X-Men animated series from the 90s, helped prepare me for X-Men 97. And then I watched through that show and I'm a big fan of that universe. And it was cool because like, you know what, we're kind of like walking up to him to take our photo and like Rogue and Storm are just doing a bit like with each other like while we're there. And it got to a point where like they were talking about Spider-Man and stuff, and it was like we kind of like, you know, chip in here and there a little bit, but I was like, I just want to like, this is great. Mad respect to the people that commit to the characters that they're playing and like do bits and stuff. Because not a lot of people, not everybody does that. I remember when I went to Galaxy's Edge and like I would try to get people, like the characters that were there to try and do bits, and it's like none of them would do it. So mad respect to like, you know, especially these two right here, the person that was playing Storm, the person that was playing Rogue. Rogue was like my favorite character in that X-Men animated series besides Wolverine, so I got a bit of enjoyment out of it. And then while we were there too, we went on these water rides, because they have like a little water park there. Now, we were idiots because we didn't come in swim gear. We were just in like regular t-shirts and athletic shorts, and we kept getting soaked. I have like the funniest story to share with you guys about it. We were on this ride. If anybody has been to SeaWorld, everybody knows like the Rio Loco, I think, or whatever it's called, you sit in like this giant pod, or you sit in like this giant circle boat or whatever. You got like the handle in the middle, and you just kind of like ride down a river. It's like that, but there were certain points where they'd, you know, spray you with water. Now, at the end of the ride, there was a conveyor belt. Halfway through this conveyor belt, there were like these cannons that were spraying you with water. And about halfway up this conveyor belt, we stopped. And I was like, okay, very funny. Like they stop us so we get sprayed with water. Very funny. And we're sitting there for a good minute getting sprayed. And it's like, okay, is this ride ever going to move now? Like, what's going on? I feel like we've been here a good minute just getting sprayed with water. And my brother's like, dude, I think the ride might be stuck or whatever. Like, it's really stuck. You really? Do you think so? And then not like 10 seconds later, we hear over the announcer board, like, attention, this ride has come to a halt. Please sit still or whatever. And we all just died laughing because it's like we're all just stuck there getting hosed with water. It's like all in my eyes now, like I can't see. We're all just sitting there dying laughing. But that was definitely a moment where, like, in the moment we found it funny. Afterward, it was like, oh my gosh, like I feel so drained, like the adrenaline rush has gone off now. But then, like, again, like afterward, you could look back on it and be like, okay, that was very funny. We were sitting there for at least a good 3 minutes or so, just getting soaked with water until we finally moved. Hey, it could have been a lot worse. Like, I got big fears and stuff of, like, you know, if you're on like a Ferris wheel and you're just sitting at the top and you're stuck there, or if you're on like a roller coaster and it gets stuck or whatever, you know, like, again, like there are worse things that could have happened. So in this regard, like, we were on the conveyor belt, like we were safe. There was never any doubt about that. It was just, we were getting drenched with water. That was the bit. So yeah, you guys, I believe that is going to wrap us up for today. Overall, you guys, really enjoyed my time at Universal. It's one of those things where you look at it, it's like, okay, I think like Disney's got to step up their game here. And from what I heard too, when we were on the bus ride from the airport to the parks, is that they plan to expand Universal even more than they already have. Like, I think they've already got the land bought over there and everything for their expansion. So I don't know, maybe give it like another 5, 6, 7 years, you guys, and we're probably going to have like some more parks and stuff down at Universal. Don't quote me on that though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel, and I will see you guys next time.
I'm glad you're here to tell us these things.